So yeah, it's like I was saying, lots of land, more than you do now for sure. It's like, and like all I was saying is the poles and the way that they're spread out makes the world colder. So it's like we're getting more and more temperatures. There's more places for lizards and dinosaurs and exotic birds, giant exotic birds. I mean, it's like the largest dinosaur of all time. A turtle without its little house on it. What are they called? Without its protection. That's what it is. It's the largest dinosaur on Earth that existed. A giant turtle. Now, imagine how docile that thing was. I mean, ancient peoples were actually living like the Flintstones. They were actually, yeah, they were. They were using these dinosaurs to do their work, to build these giant buildings. And they're building these giant buildings as markers, as pillars for people to recognize what region they were in, and recognize, that in this place there's large civilization, there's lots of food, there's lots of everything, so you could come. It was like a big sign. And they made them huge. And actually, some of these pyramids that existed in the ancient world are larger than what they've already found. Even bigger. So you get that. And you would find them, a lot of them, yeah, they're buried in the ocean. A lot of them. The ones we find generally are the ones that weren't buried in the ocean. The ones buried in the ocean, and you have to imagine the pressure of that, all buried in the pressure of the water on top of it, and how it would look now. It would just flatten it out, so it was like, spread it out, it would be all spread out, so it'd be kind of hard to, pinpoint a building or something. They might not be able to, because also sometimes there's so much mulch, and it's like, so it's hard to actually find these things. It's not as easy as they'd like to make people believe. Generally not. But then, lots of the ancient civilizations that they found, the biggest ones, the ones they say are like old, they were the ones that existed in the ancient world. Well, yeah, sure, that's my theory. But, you can prove it. You can actually prove it. That these ancient buildings that they unburied were exposed to the same type of environment, same type of oxygen, similar. Yeah, the same. Because the oxygen, everything was different in the ancient world. We've lost so much, that's why it's so different. So, you get that effect, and you actually can tell a little more. You can actually, yeah, sure, you get some differences from one region to another, but there's just so many of them that you'll find plenty that match. There's so many. For some reason, there's so many of them. You can easily test that. And then you can actually test when they were unburied. Because then they were exposed to the different air after. It's actually one of the reasons they say they're ancient. They say they're ancient. Well, they must have existed in a time where the air was different. It mustn't have been not long ago, but so you got that going on. Lots of these ancient artifacts, lots of them wouldn't even exist anymore. Lots of these books and these devices and these tools. They have found some, yes. And some they can't even explain what they are. But if they knew, where they came from and basically, the kind of environment they were used in, well, then they would know what they were for. Now, I know, living like the Flintstones, seriously? Most people would say, you're nuts. But, think about it. I mean, did you ever see frogs be violent? How many lizards can we have as pets? We can have enough snakes as pets. Generally, reptiles are pretty docile. Turtles especially. And I have no doubt. Why would they be scared of a little thing like me? I think I'll go and be friendly with it. It's like lots of these tiny animals on the backs of, buffaloes, the little birds, pecking away at the bugs. There's always seems to be this symbiosis in between animals that they can actually work together. I mean, that still exists. But in God's kingdom, it was much more apparent. And when you lose all these species, you lose lots of these species that you could basically use to do your work. They would say, well, maybe it was giant elephants. Yeah, it could have been giant elephants that did the work on these giant buildings as well. Maybe giant mammoth? Maybe. It could have been. It's not like we're going to have to work much. These animals are so strong and they're so big that it's like lifting a tree for them is like lifting a toothpick for us, So, I really do think that's the way it was. It's like we lost lots of these docile animals, and in the midst of these floods and these disasters of the way it happened, and even after the fact, lots of these docile animals that depended on other animals who lost these animals, like lots of the little animals that depended on the bigger ones, they can't survive, and lots of these, lots of these bigger ones who also depended on the little ones sometimes couldn't survive as well because they depended on each other. And I think that in the ancient world, it was much more like that. That we had the dinosaurs, we had the giant animals, and they were docile. I mean, there's nothing more docile than a giant. Why would a giant be giddy and stressed and crazy? No, just the little creatures tend to be like that. They tend to be like crazy. It's like a mouse. It's like they're scared. Of course they're scared. They're tiny. It's a large creature. A large creature is going to be confident. It's not going to be scared of something smaller. Some humans seem to be scared of things smaller than them sometimes. But anyway, I guess there's exceptions to everything. But these animals, that's the thing. That's what happened. They lost. We lost the most docile ones. Some of them, we were actually helping them too. Doing things for them. We take care of them, and they take care of us. That was a symbiosis. Like we have with animals now sometimes.